34 jobs. That's 724-434 jobs.
It's the Afternoon Drive Show on your local station, 590 and 101.1 WMBS, 519.80 outside of our Davis & Davis studios. Feels like 89. Oh, those 9 degrees make all the difference, don't they, Doug Saltzman?
Good to see you, Nicholas. How are you?
Well, I was better, but...
Were you better? You've got the camera up high again for those watching on
showing
Facebook
off
Live.
Your head, yeah.
So all they're showing is my bald head.
No, it's great. It's not bald.
We can just at least lower it.
It's not bald. It's hair absent.
Let's try that.
Okay, great. Lower it.
Okay, now you pointed at me. Take care of that. Yeah, we got to...
All right, that's better,
I had
guess.
this illusion. I saw some hair on my head.
Well, it's quite the illusion.
Speaking of illusions, I think that 6-game winning streak by the Pirates, was that just an illusion?
Absolutely,
Hey,
yes.
we'll take what we can get, right?
Yes, sure. I mean, 6-game winning streak, and the way they won, 3 shutouts, and then, they beat St. Louis, they beat the Mets, 2 teams with winning records. They go to Seattle, who has a losing record, don't score a run. So that's all you need to know.
First time in Major League history that a team was in back-to-back shutout series.
Is that right? And they've been playing baseball a long time. I'm no expert, but it's not a new game.
So it's back-to-back where they got they shut out a team and then got shut out by another team.
That's what I love when people say, how can we get more people watching baseball? I always want to say, it's been around 200 years. Either you like it or you don't. What you have who you have watching it. What are you going to do? Put, candy bars on the field and have people run out and get them? What are you going to do to change it that much? They've sped it up a little, but
they have sped
people
it up
like it or they
quite
don't
a
is my
bit,
point. It's been around 200 years. It's not a new game.
No, I think, although they did speed it up quite a bit.
They did. And they still stick the commercials in there, though. So plenty of them.
Yeah, although they come back from commercials sometimes and you miss the first pitch.
They do. And on the radio they come and I'm in the bathroom and they're calling for an ID and I got to run down and trip over myself. What are you going to do? Nothing.
Hold it.
Oh,
that's
hold
the idea.
it. Well, please.
I know that's not
at
good for
my
your kidneys.
age.
It's a very dangerous thing. I've read that in medical journals.
Yeah. Doug, I'm pushing 30. I'm getting up there.
Oh, you're up there, brother. God, you're within range of half my age. Sooner or later, you'll be half.
Absolutely. One of these days, we'll catch up with each other.
My brother is 6 years older than me. I could not understand how, when I was 6 and he was 12, he was twice my age, but somehow I started catching up. My math skills.
Yeah.
Somehow I took those dreadful math skills and went to college as an accounting major, which lasted about a semester and a half.
You went from accounting to English.
Can
you have 2 different majors?
Exactly. And people say, wait, you're not even in the same college. You're not in the same school anymore.
You went from numbers to letters, which I think letters suit you better.
I think they do.
Yeah.
And certainly communications suit me better as well.
Yeah.
And history. I could have been a history major.
Oh,
that's right.
But a history buff, Civil War
I was
buff.
speaking to a group not too long ago of high school kids and part of this panel, and they said, if you could go back in time, what would you do? I said, National Park Ranger, without question.
Absolutely. Get to wear a suit and a hat. You're outside. It's great.
I don't think you wear a suit.
Not like an outfit.
A uniform.
A uniform. I'm sorry. You're a uniform crew member.
That's it.
You know what I call them? The person on the plane.
That's what I went to. That's a National Park Ranger.
You could still
State
do it.
Park Ranger.
I'm sure they're looking for guys in their 60s.
I don't think so.
No. Well, it's not like being a cop. You don't have to wrestle anyone if someone's drunk.
Well,
just yell at them to stay away from that bear.
I'll do that when I retire. Yeah, stay away from the bear.
Yeah.
Speaking of bears.
That's a great advice. Stay away from that bear, guys.
Yeah. Speaking of bears, my sister-in-law, Janice, who's married to my brother Dave, had a dream that a bear got into their house and she was wrestling it.
Wow.
Calling to my brother.
That's a Freudian dream.
I don't know what that is.
That's a psychologist's dream.
And she managed to fight off the bear.
Wow. And she told this to people. Wow. That's interesting. And she remembered it. I can't remember most of mine.
Well, they say if you wake up in the morning and have a pad of paper next to you and start taking notes, you'll remember your dreams.
Wow. That's what Seinfeld does with jokes, he said. And when
that's right.
Yeah, and look at how successful he is.
Right. Yeah, although it didn't work on that one joke when he saw the spaceman from I was going to say spaceman from outer space. That's where spacemen are.
Well,
do you know who played that character?
Refresh my memory.
And it was that one where he saw this flaming Globes of something, and he thought it was a funny joke.
Yeah.
And it wasn't at all.
No.
Larry David played
Was that Larry David?
Yeah, that was
That's
Larry
right.
David.
He was also the man with the cape.
Yeah, exactly. The co-creator.
Mr.
And also the
Costanza's
one
accountant.
who was in a peeking out of a hero I took in Seinfeld, like we're having a conversation. Sometimes I forget we're on the air.
Yeah.
He also was when George was trying to get change for a 20. He Larry David was the guy working at the newsstand on the street corner.
Yeah.
Don't panic. Nick's looking at the time.
Do we have guests today?
We do not have a guest at 5:25
Oh,
today.
okay.
Busy day. Hoping that wanted to talk to somebody regarding, of course, what's going on in Texas, which is unbelievably dreadful. Still 160 missing people.
Awful in the girls' camp. Just
Oh,
awful.
dear heavens!
Horrific.
There's a I saw a video. What do they call that when they speed up a video? Time lapse video. Of how fast this river came up. People were workers were in trucks down near the river, and they showed them backing up. When all of a sudden they had to get their cars out of there. It was remarkable how fast.
Yeah.
That is. People don't realize 6 inches of water will move a car.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. If you're not sure how deep water is, stay away from it.
And that's the Texas Hill Country, very flat.
Oh,
and
good
it's
heavens.
where
Can you
LBJ
imagine?
grew up.
I remember years ago there was a driver who got in water and it swept her away, but she survived, thankfully.
Wow.
And she said, well, I didn't realize that the road dipped where the water was. I just assumed since the water was flat on top, the road had to be flat underneath, is what she said.
Wow. Well,
like somehow if the road dipped, the water was going to dip down and come back up.
No, we're not all physics majors, I guess.
Many years ago, they survived. This is many decades ago. Somebody went over the falls at Ohio Pile, and they interviewed the man in the boat, and they asked him, why didn't you stop? And he said, well, I thought we were coming to the bottom of the falls.
Wow. Well,
like, I don't know, was he a salmon and he was going to jump up the falls?
Who knows? I guess if you don't know.
Falls don't go up.
No. I think Einstein proved that with some theory.
Something he did.
Or
exactly.
who was the other one? I don't know.
Who was the other one?
Well, Einstein. Did he invent the theory of gravity or whatever? I don't know.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't Einstein, for heaven's sake.
It wasn't Edison. That was the light bulb.
Oh, for
At least I know. Most people my age don't even know who these names are.
Yourself.
Most people my age don't even know. They don't know anything.
Yeah. Come on, Nick. Read a phone, will you?
Really?
I heard a comedian.
See him reading the paper.
I saw that on some show. I thought that was funny. I think it was Saturday Night Live. Somebody said, come on, get smarter. Read a phone.
That's
Which
pretty
is a
good.
great line.
That is a great line. Now, phone book, that's a completely outdated concept.
I think you can still get phone books.
It was great when you'd walk out and it was in the yard and it was rain the night before.
And
it was all
soaking wet.
Like the paper. It's like, let's invent an electronic version of this, and boy, have they.
But, it's not as good.
Of course not.
Well, you can't find people's phone numbers because
No.
home phones were listed.
Yeah.
Cell phones are not.
No.
But
Thank
I
God.
delivered phone books one time during college. Made some
Wow.
money driving around the back of somebody's pickup truck, tossing.
When you weren't modeling.
Yeah, when I wasn't modeling. My modeling career, that was actually post-college. Very brief
Yeah.
because I wouldn't wear briefs.
And just briefs.
Just briefs.
Well, that's an honor that they asked you. They thought you
I did this.
could handle that.
It was at Gimbals, which no longer exists. I don't have any of those photos. I wasn't allowed to have any. It's not like you carried around a cell phone taking pictures.
Well, good for you. Stood up for your principles.
And these weren't the ones that were in in the catalogs, like the ones they would put in the store.
Wow.
And then they said, okay, it's time now. And it wasn't going to be boxers, the other type, briefs.
Oh, geez.
I'm like, I really don't want to have a picture of myself.
Well, hey, your kids are thankful that picture
exactly.
doesn't exist.
And then
now with the internet,
that was the end of my modeling
That's
career.
it. Oh, it's your hands. Do they ever?
They didn't do my hands.
That's what you get for avoiding manual labor your whole life.
I was pretty good look, chiseled back then, a lot of hair.
Chiseled. Wow.
Chiseled face, I mean.
I was going to say, well, you're in the gym 4 hours a day.
So, nonetheless, that was a quick end to my modeling career.
Well, hey, everything has to come to an end.
I suppose.
Yeah, all good things.
Yeah, I didn't
like this conversation. Oh, 3 more minutes. Okay.
Stop it.
I'm kidding. Chug it, please.
We're going to check in, by
It's
the
summer.
way.
Everyone's at the beach or fishing anyway.
At 5:35 with Marjorie Conley. She is with AP Nork. We're going to talk about their latest polling on how adults feel about the cost of child care and other issues. The birth rates are really dropping.
They're dropping dramatically.
Very interesting topic.
Traffic's
there.
been great the last few years.
Right.
Yeah.
And then 6:20, we're going to check in with a CBS reporter. We're in the process of determining who that will be.
Oh.
I do have one.
Could be Dan Rather, could be some intern.
I do have one scheduled.
I don't think Dan's working anymore.
We might change that one over. Then Andy Masick's going to join us. We haven't talked to him in a while. President and CEO of the Heinz History Center.
Oh, great
There's
place.
expansion plans for the Meadowcroft Rock Shelter, which is just next door in Washington County.
That's where the ketchup bottle is now. That used to be at Heinz Field. It's at the History Center.
Meadowcroft, that's not the History Center.
I see.
That's the archaeological dig site in Washington County.
Well, I can't win today, can I?
You are right. At the Heinz History Center, which they're also expanding, that's where the ketchup bottle is.
Yeah, I saw it the other day. It's great.
And the sign that says Heinz, that used to be on the Heinz plant, which is now Kraft Heinz. Mm-hmm. And they don't make ketchup in Pittsburgh anymore.
Oh, that's awful.
That's terrible. They
no
still
Rolling
make steel.
Rock in Latrobe, but yeah.
They still make steel.
Thank God.
They make beer in Latrobe.
Oh, it's not Rolling Rock, though.
But not Rolling Rock. You think they'd make a little there?
You'd think they would.
Yeah.
Well, you got to get
It's a
something
very
on the way to
modern
training
brewery
camp.
over in Latrobe.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law grew up literally within view of the plant. The rolling from the glass-lined tanks of Old Latrobe, we tender this premium beer for your enjoyment as a tribute to your good taste. It comes from the Mountain Springs to U33. That gives you some idea of how many Rolling Rocks I've had over the years.
Now do the thing on the Budweiser label. Oh, you can do that? Oh, God, I was just joking. He's really
This is the world-famous
God.
Budweiser beer. We know of no other beer produced by any brewer which costs so much to brew and age. Our exclusive Beechwood aging produces a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you'll have in no other beer at any price.
Now, when the priest asked for you to do your vows at your wedding, were you afraid that was going to come
Well,
up?
it's funny you say that.
Yeah.
Because we did memorize our vows.
That's amazing you know that. That is amazing.
I've drunk a lot of Budweiser and Rolling
wow.
Rock.
So much that I wouldn't think you'd be able to remember anything.
Remember anything at this point.
Yeah.
And my brother did say, as I was reciting my vows, it's funny you say that. He thought I was going to suddenly say, this is the world famous Budweiser beer.
It just came to me. Wow,
Yes,
that's great.
He said the exact same thing.
You don't remember your daughter's names, but you know that.
The glass, what is it? A taste born of hoary nights when lonely men struggle to keep their fires lit and their cabins warm. That's on the back of a Yukon Jack
Hoary
whiskey
is
bottle.
Great. Hoary
means
tremendous.
cold and chilly. Has nothing to do with ladies of the evening. CBS News brief coming up here in just a moment as Doug Saltzman is droning on with beer and liquor slogans. That's Nick. I'm Doug. Stick around.
CBS News Brief. The search continues for victims of the Texas floods. Governor Greg Abbott took a helicopter tour of the affected area today.
Just in the Kerr County area alone, there are 161 people who are known to be missing.
Many of the missing were staying in the state's hill country but had not registered at a camp or hotel. The death toll is at 109. North Carolina's governor toured parts of his state flooded by a tropical storm last weekend.
There's rain coming later this week. This ground is fully saturated. We hope and pray it's not a heavy storm, but folks need to be on their toes.
Israel's prime minister's back at the White House for more talks with President Trump on Gaza.
We got to get that solved. Gaza is it's a tragedy.
On Wall Street, stocks were mixed today as investors waited for more news on the latest tariffs. CBS News Brief, I'm Cammie McCormick.
Hey love, I'm Tiffany from Tiffany Smith Fine Art Studios, serving up confidence boosts in Periopolis in our brand new luxury studio in downtown Pittsburgh. I'm not just here to take your picture, I'm here to help you remember who you are. Whether it's been a wild few years or you're just feeling a little blah, this is your permission slip to feel powerful again. You'll laugh, maybe cry, and leave feeling like that girl. Book your experience at TiffanySmithFineArtStudios.com because you deserve to be seen.
Saving money when you buy a new home isn't a fantasy. It's reality at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. With up to $5,000 in instant savings during the Sign and Save sales event, it's the perfect place to find the home you've always wanted. So don't let your dream home stay a fantasy. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon today at 4500 PA 51. Terms and conditions for the Sign and Save sales event at manufacturedhomeoffers.com. Available only at participating Clayton Homes family of brands retailers through August 31st. Amount of savings may be limited. Ask for details. May not be available with certain financing. Lender restrictions apply.
Experiencing symptoms of COPD? Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale has been selected to conduct a clinical research study, and participants are needed. All study-related care will be provided at no cost, and no health insurance is required. Compensation up to $2,200 for qualified participants for time and travel. To learn more, call Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281. That's Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281.
Enjoy the Story Square Summer Concert Series every Thursday throughout the summer from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., featuring music and food with local bands and vendors. WMBS will also be on hand for a live broadcast with the prize wheel and giveaways various Thursdays throughout the summer. Bring along your friends and family to enjoy the talents of local musicians. It's an ideal opportunity to celebrate community spirit and support local talent. The Story Square Summer Concert Series is supported by the Redevelopment Authority of the City of Uniontown and presented weekly by fine businesses including Premier Nissan, First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, the Herald Standard, the Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes, the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, Lee's Plumbing, Mike Kelly Toyota of Uniontown, the Fayette Launchbox, A1 Porta-Johns, and by Fayette Area Coordinated Transportation. Check out the full schedule of the 2025 concert series at uniontownredevelopment.com/Story Square. We will see you there.
If you are looking for a trusted local law firm with a strong commitment to their clients, look no further than Zebley Law Offices. Attorney Zebley has been practicing law in Fayette County for more than 4 decades. Although specializing in bankruptcy, Zebley also handles real estate matters, civil suits, collections, wills, powers of attorney, and more. If you need legal help, go with a name you recognize and trust. Call Zebley Law Offices today at 724-439-9200.
Mountaintop Title and Notary can handle all of your motor vehicle and PennDOT needs, such as titles, plates, renewal, registrations, and all notary needs. Tina Nicholson of Mountaintop Title and Notary can also handle ATV and boat titles and also does income taxes. Hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 4:30, and appointments can be made for after hours and Saturdays. Mountaintop Title and Notary with a new location at 655 Nelson Road in Farmington, the only place you need to go for all title, notary, and tax work. Call Tina at 724-984-1514 for the most professional services around.
I think this is the Carpenters bringing us out of the break.
Good old Karen.
Karen Carpenter, and she played drums.
Is that right?
That's what she started with. Of course, that's Led Zeppelin bringing us out of the break. I'm trying to think of...
oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I had to shut that off.
Trying to think of... What Karen Carpenter, what was their brother's name?
Oh, boy, that's a good one. Dylan? I don't know.
I don't know. It wasn't one of those hip, groovy young
I was going to
names.
say.
Tucker.
I was thinking of Bob Dylan.
Bob
Tucker,
Dylan.
Avery. I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah, maybe our next guest will know.
Andy, Barry. Oh, that's the Bee Gees. Never mind.
Speaking of our next guest, joining us right now on the WMBS Newsmakers line, and we occasionally have her on when she's got some cool polling to talk about, although I have to bring it up every time. She had polling about March Madness, and she gave us no advice at all. So
you keep bothering me about that. You keep
I tend to obsess.
Oh, he can hold a grudge like you've never known.
But
anyone.
I will tell you the name of Karen Carpenter's brother.
Okay.
It was Richard.
Richard Carpenter.
That's
Good
right.
old Dick Carpenter.
Karen and Richard Carpenter. That's right.
Beautiful.
Yes.
There you go.
I told that crazy story that Karen Carpenter came to our house one time when I was a kid. My mom, she was in town doing a show. My mom was like in these fan clubs back in the day. And I don't even know if I knew who Karen Carpenter was. I was only like 5 years old. But years later, I'm like, Mom, where did you get your picture taken with Karen Carpenter? She goes, that's in our kitchen. I've never quite understood how Mom had these connections.
Elvis was at your first communion. What's next, Doug?
Although Elvis, Elvis was at our church one time for a friend's wedding. I wasn't there. My gosh,
You sure it wasn't an impersonator?
No, it was actual Elvis. Elvis was living then because it was chaos apparently at the church. Things went went viral. If anything could
just
go
to be
viral
in
in the
Elvis's
50s.
presence. Can you
That's
imagine?
right. The pastor wasn't too thrilled that the church was like bursting at the seams.
Was he shaking his hips?
Because he was, and Elvis wasn't even in the wedding. He just came to it.
Poor Marjorie.
There we go. Sorry, Marjorie. We're out of time.
That's okay. I will tell you that while you were talking, I did Google Karen Carpenter's brother, so I'm not telling you that I knew it off the top of my head.
You could have lied.
We do it all the
time.
I could have lied, I know, but I didn't want to.
Yeah. That's why we're not on TV, because we're on Facebook, but I can still be on my computer. You can't look up something on the computer if you're doing a TV talk show. You have to stare right into the camera.
Yeah, it's harder. Yeah,
Nothing happens if you lie
harder.
unless you get caught. That's a whole different story.
That's right, exactly.
Anyway.
But no, my gosh, there's no reason for you to be honest with us. We barely know the woman, for heaven's sake. She can... make up anything she wants. Well, let's talk about the latest polling from AP North. First off, we were talking to Marjorie Conley. I don't even know if I said your name yet. Senior Fellow, Public Affairs and Media Research at the Associated Press AP North Center for Public Affairs Research. I said that in one breath. And, of course, it's AP North for short. And the most recent polling showed, and it's very interesting, you don't think of like America having a low birth rate or other parts of the world struggling with that, because for years it was the overpopulation and et cetera, but there's a large majority of adults right now who are very, very concerned about the cost of childcare. That's just part of this poll, correct?
Yes, but there is like a group of people who are concerned about the falling birth rate in the United States, but the public is really not all that concerned. They're concerned about child care. They're concerned about, the risks of pregnancy and childbirth, the cost of fertility treatments. But there are like a group of conservative people, including the vice president, who are very concerned. They want to work on like reversing the United States' falling birth rate. But the public is really they're not that concerned about it.
Concerned about it. Yeah, it's interesting. I had no idea what child care costs. We have 4 daughters, and our first couple did go to some daycare before my then wife went part-time, and we were able to handle it that way. But people are going to fall over, and I say this. We paid $15 a day for our children to go to daycare at this woman's house in our parish who had all the licensing and all that. And then one day, she raised it to like 18, and she was all these apologies. I'm like, it's not that big a deal. And then I looked up like what real child care costs. It's outrageous. I had no clue because we used this woman in our parish who had raised 11 of her own children, so we figured she knew what she was doing. But yeah, the cost of child care is just astronomical. It's mine. You have to question working full time in that, and would it make more sense not to work full time, at least have one parent home?
I think there are like people who like the cost of childcare is so high, it makes more sense for one of the parents to stay home if they don't have a very high salary. They would be working and like paying more than their salary for the childcare. So that's another issue that people are concerned about, like the cost of like making it easy for parents to stay home,
right?
And just working families to pay for childcare, to make it easier for parents to leave the workforce to stay home. You were talking about childcare. When I was a kid, of course, it was a million years ago, but moms stayed home, and you didn't have like these childcare places, or until they went to school. But it's really very difficult for a lot of people to find safe and like places that they're happy about to put their small children in.
Yeah, and
they're not concerned.
Yeah, and most folks our age probably didn't even go to preschool or kindergarten. You started in first grade. This idea that preschool education and that you have to actually go to a daycare where they're teaching things. I don't know. My mom taught me, I suppose.
Yeah. I did go to kindergarten, but most of the time we started in first grade. That was like the full day. Kindergarten was half days when I was a kid. I don't know what it's like now, but and then starting in first grade, you went full days. But it was still only like till 3:00. So somebody had to take care of you after 3:00.
Right. My daughter is one of my 4 daughters is a teacher, and she's a nanny this summer. The idea of nanny. I said that used to be called babysitting, and if you get really good at, you're an au pair, I guess, whatever that term means.
I was an au pair one summer, and also I babysat a lot. My sisters and I all babysat. My sister had one job where the mom went to work. She was a nurse, and she went to work at night. So when my sister would fill in from the point where the mom went to work until the father got done with work. So there was like a few hours in there in between. And so she had a regular job, which was actually, very good. But I spent a summer in Belgium as an au pair when I was I was 15. it was a great time.
Nick, would somebody
really
trust
good.
you at age 15 to go to Belgium and be an au pair? I don't think nobody would trust me at that age.
No. Belgian waffles? I don't even know what you're saying. Au pair. What is your daughter, Mary Poppins?
Au
I mean,
pair.
good Lord.
Well, no, she's not the au pair. You're not
Oh, I
listening.
see. I'm not.
You're planning your next newscast.
Well, yeah.
Marjorie was an au pair in
Oh,
Belgium.
Marjorie, in Belgium.
I was the au pair.
Belgium.
She was
I
the
will
au pair.
tell you,
Wow.
it was
That's in Europe.
The mother of the family was a friend of my mom's, and I was in Belgium, but it was an American family, so I didn't have to know French.
Well,
My mother thought that I was going to come back after the summer speaking French fluently, but if she wanted that, she shouldn't have actually had me living with an American family.
American family.
Spoke English all the time.
And I'm more than happy to admit my ignorance. If someone had said, what do they speak in Belgium, I wouldn't have known it was French. I probably said, I don't know, Belgic? I guess I did not realize they spoke French. Back to the topic at hand. We keep going off on tangents, which is why I like interviews with Marjorie Conley. They get ready. We'll get back to the topic at some point. I'm sure our listeners are saying. But when you take a look at this research, and again, this is AP NORC and the Center for Public Affairs Research, and it's still obviously part of University of Chicago. But paid family leave is a topic that has been around for many, many years. Some municipalities require it. Some states require it. But they've been looking at it for many, many times. And what did the polling show about that?
The polling showed that about 2/3 of the public, approved of requiring employers to provide paid family leave. And that includes, Democrats, it was 3/4 of the Democrats. But it was more than almost 6 in 10 of Republicans thought that employers should provide family leave. So for parents of new babies. So very often they say, oh well, it's a very a liberal or a democratic view that for family paid leave, but a lot of Republicans think that is the case as well.
It's interesting when you, on this idea. I worked for an employer one time that gave 6 weeks of paternity leave with a P.
Yeah.
Paternity leave.
Paternity leave.
Which I did not take all of it, frankly, at that point. It just seemed odd to take that much time off, and we had a very small office I was working at. But that is something, in many cases, is what employers use, especially these days in such a tight market, to recruit possible employees. They offer these non-mandated benefits, and paternity leave is one of those rare ones. I'm guessing that this poll did not touch on that.
Well, they didn't touch on the idea whether it's maternity or paternity leave, but they did say paid family leave.
Right.
So and parents. So they're asking about whether employers should provide that kind of family leave for parents of new babies.
Yeah, I made a mistake in my career that I started to be a stay-at-home dad at one point. Did not work out well for me from a career standpoint, but I think that's just sort of society and just, moms stay home. I went back into the job market, interviewing, et cetera. I think most people thought I was either in jail or, I don't know, rehab or something.
Jail.
Jail. Nick thinks I was in jail.
Well, rehab's a good possibility
I was
as
not.
well.
Yeah, I was not in either. But, when you talk about the birth rate issue, I'm always shocked. We have 4 daughters. And when I tell somebody I have 4 daughters, they're like, oh, my gosh, how do you do that? And I said, well, we didn't have them all at once, for one thing. They were spread out over a few years. But we all knew families back in the day, and I'm Catholic, and it's not just a rumor. There were people in our school, the grade school I went to, that had 6 kids. There were 30 families with 6 or more kids at one point. And
I don't know how old you are, but
I'll be 62 in a week. Yeah.
All right, I'm a little older, and in my parochial school, there were a lot of families that had 4, 5, 6 kids. And my family, we had 5. And, I know later, in later years, people weren't having as many children as they did in the 50s and the 60s. But I do know that there are people who are if you have more than 2 or 3 kids, and people are like, oh my God, how many kids do you have?
Right.
But most people only have people I know, my friends have like 2, maybe,
Right.
maybe 3.
It's and when again, I went to a Catholic school as well, and at one point in that school, there were 30 families with 6 or more kids still in the school. So within 8 or 9 grades, counting kindergarten, preschool. You just don't hear that anymore. It's unheard of. I have a friend, Pam, whose mom had 10 and dad had 11 brothers and sisters. I mean, think of that.
My mother had 5 kids in less than 6 years, which I was like, no wonder she wouldn't.
Wow. Back to the era where you had your first child in month 11 of your marriage, usually.
Yeah. But I will tell you, I have to just say this. We had 5 kids in less than 6 years, but not one. I don't know if you know this phrase. Irish twins.
Oh, okay.
None of us were Irish twins.
Oh, okay.
And you know what that phrase means, right?
Yes, of course. Of course.
So, we were all more than 12 months apart. But
for those who didn't understand that, I wasn't going to point that out, but we'll let the guest let the guest point that out. Listen, I did get a question after our last interview: is how AP North decides what they want to poll on. I think most people, when they think of polling, it's always politics. But you guys really move around the whole lot, especially the one we've joked with you about, how many people were interested in March Madness.
Yes.
And, of course, that was a lighthearted one. This is a very serious topic. These parents leaving the workforce to raise their children, more people having children later in life, etc. But how does AP North decide, okay, this week we're going to poll on this?
AP is our client, right? So NORC does the surveys, and AP is the client. And very often AP, their decision on what we want to ask about depends. Okay, a lot of the times it's what's going on in the news, right? So you've probably seen some of our releases we're all news related. But then we have things on March Madness or this pronatalism survey. And sometimes they're either issues that they have reporters or editors that are interested in and have asked us to add questions to our surveys about, or that's really mainly the thing. Sometimes, and sometimes they like to do some things that are a little lighthearted, like March Madness. And we've done polls on what do you like to eat for Thanksgiving and what are you going to do for Christmas. So it's not just, what's happening with the war or that kind of thing. But there always is. Every survey, we usually have a number of serious issues, things that are happening in the news. And then, we might have a couple of other issues that either this is a serious issue, but it's not like at the top of the news. It's not like, what's going on right now. Earlier releases from this same survey we had about, the what the president is doing and what's happening with cuts in the issues of this was before the
big beautiful bill.
The bill passed, yes. Right. But we asked questions about how people felt about those kind of things. And maybe the next poll will ask about what people think about the big beautiful bill. And find out how people are really viewing those kind of cuts.
Yeah, the very first job I ever had out of college, and people find this surprising. It's not usually the first job. Was working for a political consulting firm, and obviously we did polling. And those days of polling, which was mid '80s, we thought it was a nightmare that we had to literally buy phone books for the cities or the congressional district or what have you that we were polling in. It seemed like a nightmare at the time. We would love to go back to the days of being able to poll somebody on their home landline. And there's a poll. How many people have home landlines? But the idea of calling people anymore is not completely out of the realm of how polling is done. But it's not the only way, is it?
Yeah, no. There are some organizations that do polling by phone, and they include like cell phones, and they include landlines. What North does with their AmeriSpeak program is they create a panel, and they reach out to people by phone, by internet, by like emails. They reach out all these people to get them in there. And then once they're say, okay, yes, I'd like to be part of your panel, then it's like, would you like to do it online? Would you prefer, would it be more comfortable for you to be by phone? And since I've started doing this about 10 years ago, the number of people who want to do it by phone has reduced. I mean, older people are still, I would argue that I'm a senior citizen, but I would rather do a poll online than do it by phone. And as time goes on, it'll be less and less people wanting to do it by phone.
We're talking to Marjorie Conley, Senior Fellow, Public Affairs and Media Research with AP NORC, the Center for Public Affairs Research. And it's interesting, too, that when you think about declining birth rates, that's not something you would think is happening to the U.S., but it's sort of fascinating. I guess there's sociological studies to determine why that's happening. I'm convinced that has something to do with helicopter parenting, but that's just my my own thoughts. I've never been one of those. My then wife and I, my daughter's mom, we've never been helicopter parents. We kind of let them figure out how to handle life mostly on their own, although we did hang out with them a lot, like say when they were 2. But beyond that, we thought, okay, you got to start figuring these things out on your own. But who knows if that's the cause or not.
But we found in the survey, most people are not really concerned. That's not a concern of most Americans, that the birth rate has dropped.
Yeah.
They're really not all that concerned about that. And I know that, like, I've seen articles about that in certain places where the birth rate has dropped, the population actually has grown because of immigration. So because of immigration, we're not losing people.
Exactly. And a lot of folks would like to come to this country. That's pretty clear, I think,
yes.
over the last several decades. Marjorie, thanks so much. As always, we enjoy our lively conversation with you. We managed to get back on topic at one point.
Yes.
And somehow we went all the way from the carpenters to, I don't know what, helicopter parenting, you name it. We're all over the lot. But we usually try to check in with you about once a month, and we enjoy our conversations.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I enjoy being on your show.
All right. Thanks, Marjorie. Have a good evening.
Thanks.
Marjorie
Bye-bye.
Conley from AP NORC. We're going to take a break. 6 o'clock news coming up. Stick around.
Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling are the ones to call when you need a dumpster. Red Rooster offers fast, friendly service and provides medium-sized dumpsters that will fit your needs, whether it's a general remodeling project, emptying a house, or doing a summer or fall cleanout. Just call Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling at 724-569-0337 for rates and availability. Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling in Smithfield also offers a 5% military discount. Call 724-569-0337 and look for the Red Rooster.
Redstone Candy Company in Republic, a proud sponsor of the WMBS live broadcast from the New Salem VFD Hog Roast, has been producing quality chocolate for more than 75 years. A trusted name in chocolate, Redstone Candy has been part of your family for decades. Open year-round to satisfy your sweet tooth, Redstone Candy is having a special Christmas in July sale daily from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friday, July 11th through Sunday, July 13th, and will host a flea market on Saturday and Sunday, too, at the factory store at 1736 New Salem Road.
Hey, Matt Sapienza here to remind you that this Saturday and Sunday, it's once again time for the New Salem Volunteer Fire Department's Hog Roast. Come and enjoy their famous pork sandwiches and great entertainment. TJ Solonik from Polish Melodies will join me for a live broadcast Saturday from noon to 2, made possible by State Representative Charity Grim Krupa, Redstone Candy, Magisterial District Judge Daniel Shimshock, Napa Auto Parts, New Salem Mini Mart, Lee's Plumbing and Excavating, Attorney Melinda Delarose, Nagy Gas and Oil, and Mauser's Tire Center.
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Oak Pizza in downtown Uniontown is your one-stop shop for the most unique pizzas in the region. From the masterminds behind the Fat Angelo's franchise, Oak Pizza is the laboratory where the Fat Angelo's food scientists test their creations and let you be the judge. With traditional favorites like pepperoni and buffalo chicken pizzas to more experimental offerings like the sesame seed-infused Mad Pie or the spicy chicken pickle pizza, Oak has you covered. Order today at oakpizzas.com or by calling 724-439-5805. Your taste buds will thank you.
When you are looking to make some extra cash for your aluminum cans, visit Cherokee Recycling, where aluminum can is king. Cherokee Recycling is open Monday through Friday 9 till 5 and Saturdays 8 till 12 noon, closed Sundays and holidays. Give Marcus or Rags a call today at 724-439-3228 for Cherokee Recycling, where recycling makes the most sense.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borges.
For funeral services from pre-need to at-need, burial or cremation, call Gates Funeral Home and Crematory, located at 136 North Gallatin Avenue in a beautifully restored historic home. Family owned and operated by Rick Gates, former Brownsville resident and Guyville alumni, the Gates Funeral Home and Crematory offers warmth, convenience, affordability, and ample parking. With a knowledgeable funeral director and compassionate staff, the Gates family and the Gates Funeral Home and Crematory are ready to assist you.
You know, when your all professional producer says, "Okay, it's time to come on," there we go.
That's all you need.
Yeah,
How
that's
much
all
more
we need.
prompting do you
That's
need?
good
I'm not a helicopter producer.
That's right. You're not hovering over me every minute of the day. Thank heavens. Coming up, third half of the show, we're going to check in with Bruce Marcus on an interesting ruling by the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Then Andy Masich, President and CEO of the Heinz History Center.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. A lot of questions today for Texas authorities as to who was monitoring the weather that killed more than 100 people.
I can't tell you at this time. Okay.
You can't tell me if the emergency manager of the county actually issued an emergency alert. Okay.
Governor Greg Abbott, after touring the affected area.
You ask, I'm going to use your words. Who's to blame? Know this. That's the word choice of losers.
CBS's Nydia Cavazos.
Officials here are not answering any questions in terms of what could have been done different. Could there have been a new alarm system, a new alert system installed? But for now, they say it's a matter of locating and notifying any family members.
At least 161 people remain missing, and searchers aren't giving up.
You know, I've had a lot of people come up to me that have lost their children and their loved ones and thanked me, and it's hard to even hear that because they have closure, but we haven't pulled anybody out alive yet.
No one has been found alive since Friday. President Trump is meeting at the White House at this hour with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. That as the administration launches another push to end the war in Gaza. Linda Kenyon reports.
Steve Witkoff, who has been shuttling between the U.S. and the Middle East, indicates things are going well.
We are hopeful that by the end of this week, we will have an agreement that will bring us into a 60-day ceasefire. 10 live hostages will be released. 9 deceased will be released.
Trump indicated again today he's frustrated with Russian President Putin.
We get a lot of thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth. He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
The U.S. resumed military assistance to Ukraine yesterday. The Supreme Court has cleared the way for the president's downsizing of the government. Legal analyst Laurie Levinson.
The Supreme Court today gave President Trump another win, at least temporarily. What the court said is that the administration could move forward with the executive order that's designed to reduce dramatically the federal government workforce.
And Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said today you can keep your shoes on at the airport.
TSA will no longer require travelers to remove their shoes when they go through our security checkpoints.
It was 20 years ago today that the security measure was put in place after the so-called shoe bomber, Richard Reed, tried to blow up a flight from Paris to Miami. Noem said today that since that policy was put into place, security technology has changed dramatically. On Wall Street today, stocks finished mixed. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Well, warmer days are ahead, the kind of days when you'll be enjoying your deck or patio again, especially with retractable or fixed awnings from Lifetime Awnings. Made in the USA with manufacturers and customer guarantees, Lifetime Awnings products last. Lifetime Awnings is veteran-owned and operated with a 10% discount to all military veterans and their families. Lifetime Awnings, 724-554-6067. Call for a no-cost or obligation home consultation or email John, the owner, at lifetimeawningsusa@gmail.com.
Ready to update your home? Find what you need at Zen's Construction Warehouse. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff will be happy to help you the old-fashioned way. Zen's is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 2. 485 Walnut Hill Road in Continental. Zen's Construction Warehouse, 724-366-8274. Or visit Zen's Construction Warehouse's Facebook page.
Zen's Construction Warehouse, our surplus, your savings.
Cheap seats up for grabs at the movies. CBS's Deborah Rodriguez has that.
We're not going to let you get hurt, okay?
You can slip into a movie theater to cool off and enjoy the Jurassic dinos for half the price. AMC has expanded its summer discount to Tuesdays as well as Wednesdays. The chain announced its once-a-week deal back in May to entice fans to switch from streaming to an old-fashioned experience. A small popcorn and a soda combo, also 50% off today and tomorrow, but you have to sign up to become an AMC Stubs loyalty member to take advantage. It's free to join. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
The IRS says pastors who endorse political candidates during services should not risk losing their tax-exempt status. The agency and a Christian media group are asking a Texas court to stop enforcing a 1954 rule that bars tax-exempt groups. I'm Cammie McCormick, CBS News.
The award-winning local, district, and statewide news is brought to you by Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. Is it time to find a home that fits your lifestyle? Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. You'll find special savings along with beautiful, energy-efficient homes packed with features you've been dreaming about at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon, 4500 PA 51. And now the news.
Good afternoon, 6:05 and 81 degrees, and we will get to the weather watch and the sports in just a bit. Good afternoon, I am Nick Barczyk from the Davis & Davis Studios. Davis & Davis helping local people with their legal matters since 1976. Much more on the weather watch and the sports in just a bit. West Virginia University is said to install 12 electric vehicle charging stations in 2 campus parking lots and garages. The stations are owned and operated by vendor GreenSpot and cost 39 cents a kilowatt hour to use. 6 stations are located in the Mountain Lair parking garage and 6 in the Mountaineer station garage. The university selected GreenSpot after a public bidding, and users access the service through a mobile app on their phone. A new president judge is now at the helm of the Washington County Court of Common Pleas, making it the 3rd person to lead the courthouse in less than a year and a half. The Herald Standard reports that President Judge Valerie Costanzo was sworn in this week to serve in the chief judiciary role at the courthouse upon former President Judge Gary Gilman's retirement going into effect over the weekend. Judge Costanzo was in numerous meetings this week as she begins her new role as president judge, and she said she hopes to foster a positive and productive work environment for all courthouse workers in her leadership role. And a wage increase is coming for officers with the Upper Burrell Township Westmoreland County Police Force. A new 5-year labor contract includes raises of 4%. Under the new plan, Chief Kenneth Pate's salary will go up from just over $42 an hour next year to a little over $49 an hour by 2030. The contract goes into effect January 1st. And more next on WMBS.
Is it time for your first home? Or time to trade up to a home that fits your lifestyle? It's time to visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. You'll find special savings along with trade-in and trade-up deals. Imagine beautiful, new, energy-efficient homes packed with the features you've been dreaming about. Trade in and trade up at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon, 4500 PA 51. Trade-in value toward purchase of a new home determined by resale value and evaluation by home center manager. Additional deposit may be required.
And in sports, we have Bucco baseball tonight. Pittsburgh Pirates battling the Kansas City Royals in game number 2 of a 3-game interleague series. Seth Lugo on the mound for the Royals, and Mitch Keller, the righty, goes for the Bucks this evening as the Pirates look to snap a 4-game losing streak. That's this evening at 7:15 with a game at 7:40 on WMBS. And the Weather Watch on the way.
The local, district, and statewide news was brought to you by Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. Is it time to find a home that fits your lifestyle? Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. You'll find special savings along with beautiful, energy-efficient homes packed with features you've been dreaming about at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon, 4500 PA 51.
This Weather Watch is being brought to you by Centerville Clinics, offering yearly black lung screenings, diagnosis, education, and treatment options to help you live a fuller, healthier life. And now to the weather.
And right now we have clouds and sun. We are at 80 with the overnight low at 68, 82 Wednesday with clouds and some sun, 67 overnight Wednesday, Thursday at 84, 87 with sun Friday. For the weekend, Saturday sunny and 89, 84 on Saturday. Make that Sunday with a chance of afternoon rain and thunderstorms. The overnight low at 70, sunny on Monday at 87, and next Tuesday going up to 86 with lows in the upper 60s to low 70s. Right now we have clouds and some sun, 80 at 6:10 on this Tuesday evening. And good evening from the Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios at your local station, 590 and 101.1 WMBS Uniontown. I'm Nick Barczyk. On the way next, more of the afternoon drive show with Doug Saltzman. Again, CBS World News Roundup at 7, then Bucko Baseball. Bucks and the Royals, Pirates and the Royals in Kansas City at 7:15 on WMBS.
This Weather Watch is being brought to you by Centerville Clinics, helping you live a fuller, healthier life while providing care regardless of your ability to pay. Call Centerville Clinics today at 724-632-6801. Attention Fayette County. Do you own a business? Are you a proud veteran? The Recorder of Deeds office is launching the Fayette County Veteran ID program coming by the end of summer or even sooner. Veterans, this new secure photo ID with holographic protection honors your service and connects you with exclusive discounts right here at home. Business owners, we are looking for local shops, restaurants, and service providers who want to say thank you by offering a 10% discount to veterans who show this card. Your business will be proudly listed as a participating location, showing your support for those who've worn the uniform and served with honor. It is easy to join. Stop by the Recorder of Deeds office at the Fayette County Courthouse or visit us online at FayetteCountyRecorderofDeeds.com/veteran-ID-program. Support our heroes. Support our community.
In 1986, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville was started with a promise to provide clients with truthful, friendly, and courteous service. It worked. With an expanded client base, the Firestone Insurance Agency's customers are now able to choose from over 20 well-known insurance companies. So whether it be auto, home, business, or life, Firestone has you covered, and the promise to provide truthful, friendly, and courteous service is still in place. As an independent insurance agency, the Firestone Insurance Agency works for you. They do the shopping for you to save you time and a bunch of needless phone calls. Because let's face it, no one loves to shop for insurance. Call the office at 724-455-3900 or visit firestoneinsurance.net. Can't make it to Normalville? Let the Firestone Insurance Agency bring service right to your kitchen table. The Firestone Insurance Agency, 724-455-3900 or firestoneinsurance.net. Doing what is right for the customer, finding the most affordable rates while making sure there are no coverage gaps so you are fully protected from the unforeseen.
For professional cleaning services, Clean and Shine in New Stanton is the place for you. They provide commercial and residential cleaning, porter services, carpet cleaning, stripping and waxing, construction cleanups, and car cleaning. For free estimates, call 724-691-0413, email info@cleanandshine14.org, or visit their website, cleanandshine14.org. We clean so you can shine.
Experiencing symptoms of COPD? Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale has been selected to conduct a clinical research study, and participants are needed. All study-related care will be provided at no cost, and no health insurance is required. Compensation up to $2,200 for qualified participants for time and travel. To learn more, call Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281. That's Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281.
It's that time! The 10 best days of summer at the Fayette County Fair. Buy advance tickets now, online or at an advance ticket location, and Satan, the Ferris wheel, the merry-go-round, and more. It's fun for all ages. And don't forget your favorite fair foods, funnel cakes, corn dogs, and freshly squeezed lemonade. Plus tons of great entertainment. Check out the motocross, tractor pulls, demolition derbies, mud mania, monster trucks, even a rodeo. Or just kick back and listen to this year's great music. Buy your discounted tickets now through July 23rd to save big and see this year's concerts. A local favorite, the Clarks, the Little Mermen, the Ultimate Disney Tribute Band, Lee Greenwood, John Morgan, and more. All included in the ticket price. Save time and money. Buy your advance tickets now and save for the whole family. The Fayette County Fair, July 24th through August 2nd. For the full schedule of events and ticket information, visit FayetteFair.com.
Fayette County Fair, incredible fun for everyone.
Pizza King's in Connellsville is your go-to lunch and dinner spot with a full menu of mouth-watering pizzas and so much more. Using a deck oven helps our pizzas stay extra crisp, so if you haven't tried a slice lately, what are you waiting for? From our 50-slice King Carnivore to veggie pizzas and even pickle pizzas, Pizza King has the pie to match your taste. Pizza King's, 1046 Morrell Avenue in Connellsville. Call 724-626-8343 or visit pizzakingswithaz.com.
Welcome back to the third half of the Afternoon Drive Show on your local station, WMBS Uniontown. I guess it's not welcome back to the third half. This is just the start of the third half.
When will you learn?
I know. I've got to get these things straight.
That's
Bruce
all right.
Marcus is going to join us coming up. Interesting ruling by the Wisconsin Supreme Court on conversion therapy, one of those odd topics. But we're going to check in with him. Then Andy Masick's going to join us, President and CEO of the Heinz History Center. They got expansion plans at their facility, at their site, the Meadowcroft Rockledge over in Washington County, and, of course, their main facility, the Heinz History Center in the Strip District in Pittsburgh. This is interesting. This just popped up on my phone, although, breaking news, but it's a few hours old at this point. At a rally in Pittsburgh, this is some ABC News. At a rally in Pittsburgh in May, Pennsylvania Republican U.S. Representative Dan Muser received the most powerful cosign in Republican politics, an endorsement from President Donald Trump in the upcoming gubernatorial race. Of course, Nick, as your microphone's on, that would be next year. I'm just kidding with you. Trump said he's been a great congressman, and if you run, you have my full support. The people are going to get it real fast. And he said he'll win. But after months of speculation, Muser has recently told associates that he will not enter the race to challenge Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. According to three people with knowledge of his conversation, he told ABC News. Muser delivered the news to Trump on Saturday over the phone. Someone familiar with the call told ABC News. The White House spokesperson declined to comment. So at that point, then, that would leave open a frequent guest on this show who's considering it, and she confirmed that she is considering it when she talked to us last time, Pennsylvania State Treasurer Stacey Garrity.
Wow.
Who almost had the most votes ever in Pennsylvania in an election, but was eased out slightly. Well, no, I'm sorry, not ever. I shouldn't say it that way. The most in the recent election, but Donald Trump eased her out somewhat in Pennsylvania. But she was recently reelected as state treasurer. So at one point, Pennsylvania State Senator Doug Mastriano said he might run again. But I'm not sure if what the latest is on that. So that's interesting. I thought Muser for sure was going to take that. But, of course, he would have to give up his seat to run. I'm not sure exactly what the Constitution says or what the law says if you can run for Congress and governor simultaneously.
Oh, if you don't know.
Many years ago, in 1988, when George H.W. Bush was running for president, of course, he ran for president against Massachusetts Governor Dukakis.
I can't believe I'm losing to this guy.
Exactly, and his running mate, Dukakis' running mate, was was Texas Senator
Benson
and Lloyd Benson,
who delivered that scathing line to Dan Quayle.
Right.
Oh my God!
But he ran for vice president and Senate in Texas simultaneously,
and that was not illegal.
That was permissible at the time. I assume it still is.
Crazy old Lloyd Benson.
Yeah, that would take a constitutional amendment to change.
How many people are bringing him up in 2025, you think?
That's right.
Lloyd Benson.
That line that Nick referred to there is at one point, there's always questions, of course, when Dan Quayle was running for vice president, how much experience he had. So during the debate, he said, I've just a similar experience, of course, to what Jack Kennedy had when he was running for president in 1960. And Lloyd Benson said, and he was ready for it. It was a classic line. He said, Senator Quayle, Jack Kennedy I knew Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy was my friend. You're no Jack Kennedy.
Oh, it was
and
brutal.
the audience of Berserk.
So mean.
But it was a classic line, but he lost the race anyways.
He did.
Dan Quayle and George Bush were elected.
By the way, Dan Quayle was no Jack Kennedy.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've tried several times to get Dan Quayle on. We've had him scheduled a couple times, and they cancel on us.
Well, he won't now because I just said that, but I think even he would acknowledge.
I'm not sure if he's listening in. Yeah.
He's not Jack Kennedy.
He now
Nobody
lives
was.
in Arizona. So
I'm sure he's listening.
We should try that again. We'll have
Yeah.
to try that one again to see if he's available. I met him a couple of times.
I was going to say, do you have any connection with him?
When he was vice president, but also met him and had a chance to chat with him in the Pitts area at the Indy 500.
Oh.
Because he's from Indianapolis, from the Indiana. In fact, my counterpart, and I met him in a couple of meetings, the fellow who was director of his Indianapolis office for U.S. Senator Dan Quayle. I was director of Pittsburgh office for U.S. Senator Arlen Specter, of course. And however, that guy went on to be a U.S. Senator and then Secretary of Homeland Security. So his career went a little further in mine.
A little bit.
A little bit.
It's all right.
We're
doing this now, so it all worked out.
Indianapolis. Speaking of IndyCar racing, we're probably due to have Brian Morozak back on with us to talk about IndyCar racing.
So the Indy 500 again?
No. What's that? General Indy. There was a race at Mid-Ohio, which is over in Lexington, Ohio. A great track. If you want to go see racing, that's the place to go to see some racing. And I told Brian, hey, because I was scheduled to go, and then it fell apart. I was going to go up to that race at Mid-Ohio, but ended up not being able to do that. This past weekend. And Brian made it very clear. He said, I'm golfing today. I'm going to record the race. Don't give me any updates during the race. So he made it very clear to me. But again, hey, great expansion plans by the Heinz History Center. We're going to talk about that after the news break at the bottom of the hour as I look over across the room at Nicholas having trouble dialing 10 numbers. Dial them slowly, Nick. I think you're trying to do it too fast all the time. Just push those buttons in slowly.
It rings and it stopped. I got the call.
Well, that's because you hung up the phone. See, if it rings three times.
Because it cut off. Hi, Mr. Marcus.
I don't think that's the case. Yeah, interesting topic. It's been a while since we've spoken with Bruce Marcus. He, of course, is a CBS reporter, as you can hear Nicholas yelling to him in the background. But very pleased to welcome to the WNBS Newsmakers Line on the Afternoon Drive Show, CBS News reporter with WRJO Radio in Eagle Ridge, I think I have that right, Wisconsin, Bruce Marcus. Bruce, thanks for joining us. We haven't talked to you in a while. How are you?
I'm good. By the way, it's Eagle River. I almost forgot about this call, and I apologize profusely.
Oh, that's fine. You're right on time, for heaven's sakes. No need to apologize, and I have to commend Nick over there. He said it was Eagle River. I thought it was Eagle Ridge, so thanks for correcting that. We appreciate that.
If only we had Google.
That's right. If we only had Google, we could find out where Bruce Marcus is from. I'll have to correct my show notes, as they say. No need to apologize at all. Interesting ruling. The Wisconsin Supreme Court probably gets more attention the last couple of years than any state Supreme Court around the country, of course, the money that flowed into it at one point from Elon Musk. But this ruling is interesting, dealing with conversion therapy and a conversion therapy ban. It was actually something that came up in the city of Pittsburgh, just north of our station, several years ago. But tell us, folks, first off, may not even know what conversion therapy is, and then explain what the ruling was, if you could.
Conversion therapy essentially is an effort to try to convert gays to the straight lifestyle. It has been debunked by some people, but some conservatives support it. We have got a Democratic governor, and we've got a Republican-controlled legislature. Our Democratic governor, Tony Evers, has wanted to ban conversion therapy. Many Democrats in the legislature agree, but Republicans, and we've got a conservative Republican-controlled legislature. I've said before, our legislature in Wisconsin, regarded as a progressive state, but our legislature would probably feel at home in Texas or Mississippi. So there has been a successful effort until now by a Republican committee to block Evers' ban on conversion therapy. What the state Supreme Court did today, and keep in mind we've got a liberal-leaning court, 4-3 liberal, progressive. The court basically ruled that what the Republicans tried to do is unconstitutional. The state Supreme Court ruled that Republicans do not have the right to block Evers' enactment of a ban. So now he can impose his ban on conversion therapy.
Yeah, and it's interesting as you talk about how you have a Democratic governor. Pennsylvania's a Democratic governor. However, there is divided government in the legislature. In fact, it's the only divided legislature in the country at this point. It's rather interesting that has happened. Democrats control the state house in Pennsylvania by one vote. 202 to 201. Republicans have had control of the state Senate for decades, except for a couple years off many years ago. But yeah, this ruling, of course, this was not a piece of law, nothing that was passed into law that by the Wisconsin legislature and signed into law by the governor of Wisconsin. But I guess sort of what would be in essence what people now think of as executive orders that he put this in, correct?
Yes, ever since Governor Evers took over, again, a liberal Democrat who defeated conservative Governor Scott Walker, who was trying for his third term. Ever since Evers took office, the Republican-controlled legislature has tried to handcuff him and limit his power. And Evers has fought back, in some cases successfully. You probably remember it wasn't long ago that the state Supreme Court ruled to reaffirm Evers' 400-year veto on public education. It basically locked in the increase in education spending for 400 years. The Republicans were obviously incensed by it, but we've had a tug of war between Evers, the Democrat, and the Republican-controlled legislature. And in some cases, Evers has won, like with legislative redistricting. In some cases, he's lost. Lately, with that liberal Supreme Court, he's been winning with that 4-3 progressive majority.
Yeah, it's interesting. Of course, when you take a look at when you have that divided government, and in Pennsylvania right now, we're now 8 days into the fiscal year without a new state budget. It's required to be in by the state constitution to be in by July 1st. Our fiscal year is July 1st to June 30th in Pennsylvania. But as a result of that divided legislature, it slows things down. I have a feeling it's similar to what's happening, of course, in Wisconsin, to have, as you mentioned, a very conservative at times legislature and, of course, a Democratic governor.
We've got a conservative legislature, both houses Republican, although the majority shrank after the November elections. They're especially conservative on social issues. Now, you alluded to the budget in your state. The budget here was passed recently and signed by the governor with not that many vetoes. He's got a very powerful veto pen. So at times, the two sides can work together. We have to have a budget, obviously, just as you guys do. And he did sign a budget with a lot of Republican support the other day. So sometimes they can work together. But for the most part, it's a very contentious relationship. I'm a political junkie, emphasis on the political part, and I'm aware of your state. I'm so old I can remember William Scranton. Remember him?
Sure. There were two. There was Governor William Scranton and Lieutenant Governor William Scranton, father and son at one point. But yeah, sure, of course, both were in my lifetime.
I remember Hugh Scott. I'm probably the only person in Wisconsin, and we have a population of about 6 million, who knows who Harris Wofford is. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah, Hugh Scott, a fascinating career, of course. A former member of the U.S. Senate, passed away, my gosh, at this point, 30 years ago. He was actually minority leader at one point, and one of the folks that went into the Oval Office and said, "Mr. President," talking to Richard Nixon, "you're going to get impeached. You're going to get convicted of impeachment if you don't resign." And he was part of that group that went in to tell Nixon that back in 1974.
He was a classic moderate Republican, the kind that you don't have much now. And I'm not saying that pro or con. You guys have had, I would say, centrists or, mainstream conservatives. I consider your former Senator Pat Toomey a conservative, but a mainstream conservative. And you've had liberals. I consider Fetterman who succeeded to me. I consider him kind of liberal other than on certain issues, but your state is very similar to ours, although from what I've read, your governor, Josh Shapiro, is probably more conservative than our Democratic governor, Tony Evers. I don't know about your legislature. As you pointed out, it's had Republican control, but our legislature, I'm telling you, some of these guys, and I'm not saying it pro or con, some of these guys would be at home in Alabama. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, well, Pennsylvania is interesting. The Republicans control the Senate. The Democrats control the House in Pennsylvania. As we talk with Bruce Marcus from WRJO Radio in Eagle River, Wisconsin, also, of course, reporting for CBS News. But yeah, and Pennsylvania is rather interesting. Many, many years ago, Jim Carville, the legendary political consultant during the days of Bill Clinton, of course, before that for then Governor Bob Casey, the father of the former U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania. Carville described Pennsylvania as Philadelphia and Pittsburgh with Alabama in the middle. That's how he described the state at one point.
You could say that about our state in a sense. You could say you get outside Milwaukee, Madison, southeast Wisconsin, and there are pockets where in northern Wisconsin, believe it or not, where it's a Democratic stronghold. But for the most part, you get outside Milwaukee, Madison, some of this area is very, very red. I'm in an area in northern Wisconsin that is very, very red. Donald Trump is extremely popular here. There's amazing similarities between, quote unquote, your state and my state. And of course, look at the last three presidential elections. Same situation. Trump carried your state in 2016, carried my state. 2020, Biden carried both Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. 2024, he carried your state, carried my state.
Interesting over the years. You talked about, of course, Hugh Scott, and he was replaced by John Hines, and also, of course, my former boss, Arlen Specter, another moderate. He used to say they would get together in a conference room to meet occasionally. After a while, the moderate Republicans could get together in a phone booth. He said there were so few, especially after Jack Hines died, tragically, my gosh, how long ago now, 1991, in a plane crash. Well, we'll wrap things up with our guest right now. Hey, we always like our conversations with you, Bruce. We'll have you on sometime just to do sort of political analysis. We'd rather have, we enjoy having that end of it. And of course, hear more about the state of Wisconsin. My daughter just spent 4th of July weekend at Lake Geneva. She could do a commercial right now for Wisconsin. She had such a wonderful time up there. And
well, it's a great state like your state. And I'll give you one other name. Well, obviously, Rick Santorum beat Harris Wofford. Remember that?
Oh, absolutely. Rick and I were staffers in the state Senate at one point. That's where I first, of course, met him. And then he surprised the world, frankly, when he beat Harris Wofford, who beat Dick Thornburgh to take in that special election to replace Jack Hines following his death in 1991. Interesting times in Pennsylvania, to say the least. Bruce, thanks so much. We appreciate you joining us today.
Call me anytime.
You got it. Hey,
Thanks.
Coming up, we're going to take a break and then come back, talk to Andy Masick, President and CEO of the Heinz History Center. But first, this is the Afternoon Drive Show on WMBS.
Don't miss this year's Fayette County Fair, July 24th through August 2nd. Buy advance tickets now, online or at an advance ticket location and save. Locations include All Around Fence Company, Armstrong, Big Barn, Country Feed and Supply, Fayette Chamber of Commerce, EB and Strosik Tire, Jackson Farms, New Bowers Flowers, New Salem Mini Mart, various Somerset Trust locations, several Sweet Peace locations, and local United Bank locations. Visit FayetteFair.com for specific locations or to purchase online tickets. All rides, concerts, and entertainment are included in the ticket price. Save time and money. Buy your advance tickets now and save for the whole family. The Fayette County Fair, July 24th through August 2nd. For more info about ticket prices, the full schedule of events, where to buy advance tickets locally, or to buy tickets online, visit FayetteFair.com.
Fayette County Fair, incredible fun for everyone.
Your health is more than just how you feel today. It's about staying well for the years ahead. At WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Primary Care, we're here to help you manage your health with regular checkups, screenings, and care that's tailored to you. With locations in Uniontown, Carmichaels, Connellsville, and Scottdale, it's easy to find care close to home. Visit wvumedicine.org/Uniontown today to find the primary care provider who is right for you.
When you are looking to make some extra cash for your aluminum cans, visit Cherokee Recycling, where aluminum can is king. Cherokee Recycling is open Monday through Friday 9 till 5 and Saturdays 8 till 12 noon, closed Sundays and holidays. Give Marcus or Rags a call today at 724-439-3228 for Cherokee Recycling, where recycling makes the most sense.
Hello, I'm attorney Jeremy Davis from the law firm of Davis & Davis. We have been helping the great people of Fayette County for over 45 years with personal injury claims. If you are hurt or injured, call our law firm for your free consultation. The insurance companies are not on your side. Call us today at 724-437-2799. Either myself or an attorney from our office will personally come out and meet with you. If you're in an accident or hurt, call us at Davis & Davis, 724-437-2799 for your free consultation. Let us fight for you.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has two convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borski.
Attention, active and retired coal miners. Have you been screened for black lung? Here at the Black Lung Clinic at Centerville Clinics, we offer yearly screenings, diagnosis, education, and treatment options to help you live a fuller, healthier life. We provide care regardless of your ability to pay. Call Centerville Clinics today at 724-632-6801. Do it today.
That's the Who bringing us out of the break here on a Tuesday. Nice day out there, folks. It's definitely summer weather, but not oppressive.
Oh, no.
Right? I've had enough oppressive.
Enough with the oppressive.
Enough with the oppressive. That's right. All the way here, July 8th, right? Oh, I'm ready for fall. I can't stand this weather.
Oh, I know.
All this rain.
Bring on the leaves and football and soup.
Exactly. Well, if you don't like the weather, the best place to go to is a museum, right? Now, there's
a good point.
blend right into our next
That's a beautiful
guest.
segue.
And I'm sorry, they'll break up in the music there. I couldn't figure out what's on. Our producer's not wearing headphones. I didn't know if you knew the music was still playing. That's okay. We'll cut you a break on that one. We better get right to it before our guest jumps off the line. Joining us right now on the WMBS Newsmakers line, he's been a guest with us before, but it's been a while. President and CEO of the Heinz History Center, Andy Masick. Andy, our producer, just spoke to you a moment ago on the phone and said, Andy is a happy guy. I've never seen you anything but happy, Andy. You seem to enjoy your job. How are you?
I love my job. I love Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania. And when you were talking about the weather, you know, my daughter used to say to me, Dad, I love Pittsburgh in the summertime. And I said, but isn't it kind of hot and humid? And she said, it feels like a warm embrace to me. And I always remembered that, and I believe that on days like this, it's a warm embrace. And imagine we could be in the dead of winter with snow drifts, so enjoy that warm embrace while you can.
Exactly. And although I tell you, if it's somebody who likes his job more, it's a tie, I think, between Andy Masick and Rick Seaback. They're right up there, the happiest people I've ever known. Rick's a guest on our show. We just had him on last week. He always comes on 4th of July week. But yeah, you guys seem to enjoy what you're doing, and you enjoy your hometown at this point, of course, Pittsburgh. The Heinz.
Well, you know,
go ahead, jump right in.
Rick Seaback is a storyteller par excellence, and that's what we do at the Heinz History Center, too. We're a museum about people. We tell the stories of people. And there are just so many great stories from Western Pennsylvania that we get to reveal to the public. We just opened a new exhibit called Pittsburgh's hidden history. And it's a lot of stories that people might have heard a little bit about, but are eager to learn the rest of the story. And it's about traditions in Western Pennsylvania, whether it's restaurants or celebrations. And then there are mysteries as well, like the Mrs. Soulful story. Do you know the story about the Biddle brothers and Mrs. Soulful?
Yeah, I do know that story, but then I'm a history person myself. I worry about calling myself a history buff because that's a higher level. But the Soulful story is amazing. Go ahead if you want to share that.
It was Diane Keaton and Mel Gibson made a movie in the 1980s called Mrs. Soulful, and Kate Soulful was the wife of the warden at the Allegheny County Jail. And these two brothers, the Biddle brothers, Ed and Jack, were incarcerated in this jail after murdering a guy in a holdup. They were called the chloroform gang because they used chloroform to knock out their victims and then rob them. Well, this robbery went awry and there was a shooting, and the Biddle brothers were convicted and put in the Allegheny County Jail awaiting execution. Well, the warden's wife, Kate Soulful, falls in love with Ed Biddle. He's a young 20-year-old, good-looking guy. She's got 3 kids at the time, and she's looking for something. And she finds it in Ed Biddle. She smuggles guns and saws under her skirts. They break out of jail. They jump into a trolley, ride to the end of the line. And this is after they tiptoe through the bedchamber of her husband with their sleeping kids in the next room. And they escape and they commandeer a sleigh, a one-horse open sleigh, and they go racing through the night northward toward Butler, where a sheriff's posse is waiting for them. There's a shootout. The Biddle brothers are riddled with bullets. Mrs. Soulful says to Ed Biddle as he lays dying, she says, "I can't go on without you. Shoot me." And he says, "Okay." And he puts the pistol to her chest and pulls the trigger, and she doesn't die. She's a big, busted woman, and the bullet is lodged in her breast, and she survives. She's incarcerated in the very jail that her husband oversees, and she's convicted, and she eventually gets out and does vaudeville shows recreating her dramatic escape in the sleigh. Well, we have the sleigh, the bullet-riddled sleigh on exhibit in Pittsburgh's hidden history. So that's one of the stories that we tell that you might have heard a little bit about, but need to know the rest of the story.
A la Paul Harvey. We'll give him a shout out. Yeah, the rest of the story. Right. And so when Mrs. Soulful then was imprisoned in the Allegheny County Jail, that would have been the second time she lived there because the warden and Mrs. Soulful lived in the jail. Do I have that right?
That's absolutely right. And if you go on Ross Street in Pittsburgh and you see the Bridge of Sighs,
right?
That's that bridge that crosses over Ross Street. They came right out that door on Ross Street to make their escape after tiptoeing through the warden's bedchamber. It's quite a story, and you can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't.
History is far more interesting than fiction, I think.
Apparently, when the idea went to the producers, they started going for financing for that movie. There was a lot of questions. This cannot be accurate. This has to be an urban myth, apparently, among the producers and the writers. Said, "Now, come on now." But no, it's as you just detailed it very clearly. That is a true story and a good movie.
Doug, when we're talking about expanding the History Center right now. In fact, there are cranes right now knocking down buildings next to the History Center so we can expand our gallery space to tell more stories. And we're going to build an auditorium so you can watch a film about, why are Western Pennsylvanians the way they are? and we're going to have a new cafe and a terrace outside so people can have weddings and corporate retreats and parties and things. But there are so many stories to tell in Western Pennsylvania, and it's our hope too that someday we'd like to build a history-themed hotel connected to the History Center so you can spend a night at the museum for real. Wouldn't that be something?
The night at the museum, that's right. Speaking of movies.
You could stay on the Rosie the Riveter floor or the Franco Harris floor or the George Washington floor, and you can look through glass walls into the storage vaults of history. So those are some of the things that we're talking about doing at the Heinz History Center.
Our family has come to the Heinz History Center. I haven't said we're there for the ribbon cutting back in the day. How long ago was that, for heaven's sakes? And of course,
1996.
Yeah, named for the great Senator John Heinz. We were just talking about him with our previous guest. Of course, he tragically died in 1991, and his impact on the region cannot be measured at times, especially certainly the impact of his family, the Heinz family, as well. And I think if you had such an incredible, effective use of the building that you're currently in, the old ICE building, and the nearby structures where you'll be expanding, I understand they're just in such poor condition. There was just no way to reuse those, correct?
Oh, they were crumbling old buildings on Penn Avenue, which is just on the other side of the alley from the old Chautauqua Lake Ice Company warehouse, which serves as the headquarters for the History Center. So we determined to vacate the alley and actually physically connect these new buildings to the Heinz History Center. And there will be smart classrooms and new galleries, new exhibitions. You'll learn more about Mr. Rogers, about the Three Rivers, about innovation and industry. There's just, we tell the story, of course, of Westinghouse and Carnegie and H.J. Heinz, but there's a whole new generation of eds and meds and robotics and safety that really defines our region today. And so we want to tell those stories as well, and that's what we'll do in our new wing.
Yeah, I think I was just at the History Center with a friend of mine just about a month and a half ago, and it just each time you go there, it's you want to have a different experience every time you're there, and there's just so much to see. One of my favorite parts is sort of where most museums probably don't have this, where you can literally walk through your storage area. Now that's but to be able to go back there, I find that some of the most fascinating stuff.
A lot of people tell us that. So we have a visible storage area where you can walk into our storage vaults and you can see the firearms collection or the furniture or the glass or the silver or the fine art work. You can pull out drawers and inspect things closely. There's not a lot of interpretation in those areas. It's visible storage, but for collectors and connoisseurs and people who have grown up in this region, they know what they're looking at. Yeah. But there are also other exhibits like the Mr. Rogers exhibit or the Heinz exhibit is one of our most popular. In fact, when Ed Sheeran, Ed Sheeran,
sure.
the vocalist and composer who it turns out is a ketchup freak. When he came to Pittsburgh to do a concert a few years ago, he said, there's only one thing I want to do in Pittsburgh while I'm here. I want to see the Ketchup Museum. He was talking about the Heinz History Center. So they brought him over to the History Center. He did a self-guided tour through our Heinz exhibit, and then he rolled up his sleeve and showed our curators that he has a Heinz ketchup bottle tattooed on his right bicep. I swear, he's got a ketchup
That's
bottle.
That's a picture
on
worth putting
bicep.
in the museum, I suppose. Yeah.
We did it. We took a picture, and he's in the exhibit now. But everybody finds something that they can relate to at the History Center.
Of course, adjacent to the History Center right now, of course, is the Western Pennsylvania Sports Museum. And, of course, several years ago, the Heinz History Center took over the Fort Pitt Museum down at Point State Park. And of course, for many years now, the Meadowcroft Rock Shelter Historic Village. You'll be happy to know I'm not just saying this because we're interviewing you. I've been to all these places multiple times. And of my 4 daughters, I did get one history major out of all the places we've gone to over the years.
Well, that's pretty good, Doug.
Yeah, not bad. 25%.
I'm glad you mentioned Meadowcroft because that's the oldest site of human habitation in North America. Not just in Western Pennsylvania, right. In North America, 19,000 years of history, a rock shelter that sheltered people who were hunting giant sloths and woolly mammoths, and there were saber-toothed cats roaming around during the last ice age. Well, archaeologists have dug down 40 feet and discovered the hearths or fire pits of those people who lived there all those many years ago. And carbon dating tells us that that's 19,000 years of history. Well, you can see that archaeological excavation, and you can go to a 16th century Indian village and throw an atlatl, a prehistoric spear thrower. You can go to a 19th century village and watch a blacksmith at work. It's 275 acres in Washington County, near the coal patch of Avella. And we just opened a new visitor center, the Robert Barensfeld Center. So I would encourage people to take do an adventure to Washington County this summer and see Meadowcroft.
I don't like to show off, but I have to tell you, I was pretty good at the atlatl when I was there.
You were. Huh?
It's sort of a fascinating.
It's kind of intuitive, don't you think?
Yeah, it's just natural. It's just a natural way of doing something. And
so you can throw a 6-foot spear with tremendous force by using this lever. That's what an atlatl is. It's like an 18-inch long stick with a beak on the end of it, and you hook that on the back of a spear, and you can hurl it. Imagine if you had one more joint on your right arm or your left arm if you're a lefty, and imagine how fast you could throw a baseball if you had one more joint on your arm where your hand is. Think how hard you could sling that. Well, that's what you're doing with an atlatl. And those prehistoric people could bring down mastodons or 15-foot tall sloths or cave bears or short-faced bears or cave lions, all these megafauna that are now extinct.
Yeah, I was surprised, too, at the accuracy. The first time ever doing this, my friend Pam and I, how accurate we could be with it. I was surprised that what we were aiming for, we could hit or almost hit, considering we've never done it before. But no, that's a great facility to visit. One of those hidden secrets, and we don't want it to be so. But you do have plans there as well for some expansion, correct?
We're right now planning a prehistoric journey through the forest, so you can walk from the visitor center to the 19,000-year-old rock shelter through the forest. And as you wend your way through the forest, you can stumble upon a mastodon family or a cave lion or some of this a giant sloth bending over a tree to eat the supple leaves at the top. And you'll hear the sounds. You might hear a mastodon in the forest, and then you'll follow the footprints or tracks in the forest. So that's what we're working on right now.
That was an impressive impression. Let me tell you, Nicholas, did you hear that?
That wasn't me. There's actually an elephant in the room.
That's what I thought. There is.
No doubt. Yeah, there had to be.
It's got to be in the.
That was pretty impressive. Nick and I both had these looks on our faces like, wow.
That's good.
That's impressive. As we talk with Andy Masick, President and CEO of the Heinz History Center, about their big-time plans for their facilities. And, of course, you have the Jetry Library and Archives. Tom Jetry, incredibly generous Pittsburgher. Sadly, he's not with us anymore, but my gosh, the donations he's made to help our region here And it's fascinating. Again, I've been in the library as well over the years. And
well, that's what that library is there for, is for researchers, whether they're doing family genealogy or they're writing a book or a paper for school. The Detry Library and Archives is the memory of Western Pennsylvania. 1 million photographs, books, maps, manuscripts, sound recordings, films. It's all available for you for free. If you want to use the library and archives, we don't charge admission. And here's something, Doug. I don't know if you heard about this, but beginning in September, the History Center is going to be free for kids forever.
Wow.
And we're talking about kids 17 and under. And this was made possible by a grant from the Kamen family. Kamen's Kids Free is what we call it. And we'll be the only museum in the region, maybe the only in the state, that offers free admission for kids beginning September 1st.
Well, congratulations. That's extraordinary. Also, I know the Heinz History Center recently earned a coveted 4-star rating from Charity Navigator for sound financial management. Sadly, you hear the bad stories about...
Charity Navigator, that's pretty good, and our donors love that, to know that we're fiscally sound and responsible. But here's another honor that we just received. USA Today just named us the best history museum in America.
Well, congrats on that as
well.
well.
In America.
Yeah, that's...
4.6 million readers said that the History Center is the best history museum in America. So I hope that some of your listeners will take this opportunity this summer to come out and visit us. We're in the old Chautauqua Lake Ice Company warehouse. So you started this segment by saying it's kind of hot and muggy out there. Well, we are always cool at the Ice House, the Heinz History Center. It was built in 1898 to keep ice cold year-round.
We've been talking with Andy Masick, President and CEO of the Heinz History Center here, as our intern walks into the office. How you doing, buddy? Good to have you here. Andy, we really do appreciate your joining us today. Your enthusiasm is not phony. We always say, can anybody be as enthusiastic as Andy Masick? And you truly are. And congratulations on the expansion plans for, of course, the Heinz History Center and your plans for Meadowcroft. And again, not just saying it because you're on. I've been to these places so many times over the years, including the ribbon cutting back in the day when they first opened. And you've done a great job with the Fort Pitt Museum, of course, which once was owned by the state, and so much nicer now than it had been in the past. We appreciate your joining us today. Look forward to perhaps meeting you. Well, I haven't seen you in some time. I bumped into you one time. I forget where it was. But we appreciate you taking time.
Well, I'll look forward to seeing you at the History Center this summer. Let's make a point of it.
I've got the membership, so yeah, I'll stop by. That's the best way to do it. You can come in anytime you want with a membership, and
that's right.
And we've done that so many times over the years with the kids. They're getting their own memberships now. They're in their 20s. They can get their own memberships at this point.
I love hearing that. That's terrific.
So, all right, Andy, thanks so much.
You bet. Have a good summer.
You too. Take care. Andy Masick joining us on the Afternoon Drive Show. We're going to take a break. We'll talk quickly to our intern when we come back from the break. I'm Doug. That's Nick. And that's the intern. Stick around.
Feeling lucky? Your next big jackpot is waiting for you. Visit the casino at Nemacolin in Farmington, PA for the ultimate casino experience featuring the hottest table games, daily promotions, big-time giveaways, and an exciting variety of premium slots. And after, celebrate your big win with a juicy burger at the Royale while you watch the big game. Hotel packages available. Visit CasinoNemacolin.com for more information. The Casino at Nemacolin. Game on. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
51st Legislative District State Representative Charity Grimm Krupa is a proud sponsor of the WMBS live broadcast from the 2025 New Salem Volunteer Fire Department Hog Roast. She recognizes the critical role that the volunteer fire service plays in our communities, offering safety and peace of mind for area residents. Grimm Krupa encourages Fayette County residents to stop by the annual celebration on July 12th and 13th at the New Salem VFD. Grab a famous hog sandwich, enjoy some live music, and support this worthy cause.
Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling are the ones to call when you need a dumpster. Red Rooster offers fast, friendly service and provides medium-sized dumpsters that will fit your needs, whether it's a general remodeling project, emptying a house, or doing a summer or fall cleanout.
Just call Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling at 724-569-0337 for rates and availability. Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling in Smithfield also offers a 5% military discount. Call 724-569-0337 and look for the Red Rooster.
Warm weather is finally here, and with it, the opportunity to upgrade your lawn or yard with a new fence from All Around Fence Company. Conveniently located at 7896 National Pike, Uniontown, All Around Fence has been installing quality residential, commercial, and farm fencing for more than 45 years. Offering residential fencing including chain link, decorative aluminum, steel, and more, All Around Fence has a fence for you. All Around Fence is also your one-stop shop for Neutrina products and carries livestock, equine, and pet supplies too. So whether you need to upgrade an existing fence, add a new gate, or are looking to install an all-new fence, All Around Fence has the answers for you. Visit them Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. or give them a call at 724-439-0331. To learn more, visit allaroundfence.com.
Welcome back to the Afternoon Drive Show on a Tuesday. I'll be with you tomorrow, by the way, for What's on Your Mind from 1 to 3. TJ and I will be in studio, and then I'll be back for the regular show from 5 to 7. Joining us right now, our intern on air on the Afternoon Drive Show, Lucas Moody from Penn West Cal. Welcome to the Afternoon Drive Show. What are you studying over there again?
Commercial music technology.
Commercial music technology. When I was in college, I don't think the word technology was around yet. No, I think it was. Although I managed to make it through college without taking one single computer class, if you can believe, or using a computer. They didn't exist in the mid-'80s. Well, they barely existed. But in 10 seconds, tell us what music technology is.
It's actually like recording studios and mixing sounding boards that we had to do to provide projects and sounds, effects, delays, reverbs, and work together into one complete studio recording.
There, we do that around here, don't we, Nick?
It blew my
well,
brain.
now Lucas Moody is going to teach us how to do that here. So welcome again. Thanks. It's good for you. I did internships in college. It's a great thing to do. So thanks for talking to us for at least 1 minute. We'll have you on longer tomorrow if you're in.
And he's running the game tonight. Try to bring home a winner tonight.
If you could, that would be good. News is next.
Death toll climbs in central Texas flooding.
The hearts of our fellow Texans are breaking every single day.
For rescue crews,
we haven't pulled anybody out alive yet.
Supreme Court clears the way for downsizing of federal workforce.
The Supreme Court today gave President Trump another win.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper.